Hello and welcome to Are We There Yet? MarketScale's online video podcast series that explores the most exciting things happening in transportation today. My name is Grant Harrell, and as your host, I speak with the voices of today's most exciting transportation companies, truly learning what's at the cutting edge of transportation technology. And so today we talk trucking, and to speak with us about that, we have Detmar Trucking, a Texas-based trucking company who is truly leading the industry in the integration and demonstration of EV and hybrid technologies. And to speak with us, we have Matt Detmar, founder and chief executive officer. Matt, hello, and welcome to Are We There Yet?
Hey, Grant. Just want to first off say thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, and looking forward to talking with you today.
Well, you're welcome. Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. And as I shared, I'm just so impressed with your organization. And I think today, of course, EV and hybrid technologies are such a hot topic. And I know that there's a lot that are talking about it and planning for it. But I'm so impressed with you and your organization that you're doing it. You're demonstrating it. You've got trucks on the road now just demonstrating some of these hybrid technologies. And so, speaking to that, falling within the theme of the Are We There Yet series, I would love to ask you, net negative carbon emissions within the trucking industry. Are we there yet?
Not quite. However, we are very much on the way. We're making significant progression, of course, with the things we're working on with our partner Hyliion, as well as adopting alternative fuels and electrification into our fleet.
Yes, that's so exciting to hear, and I love the partnership that you have, and would love for you to maybe tell us a little bit more about that partnership. I know many individuals within the audience may not be familiar with that, but it's an amazing partnership that you've created between the two organizations. Can you tell us a little bit about the partnership and why it's important for you?
Yeah, no, we first came to know about Hyliion when they de-SPAC'd and went public, the SPAC process, and we looked at their technology and we thought it was phenomenal with what they're looking at doing with the Hybrid EX going to the Hypertruck ERX, which is what we're looking at pushing towards. That's essentially our end goal. And how the Hypertruck works, if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, or you or the viewers, I recommend go and take a look at the technology because it's actually rather brilliant. It uses natural gas, onboard natural gas power plant. Essentially, it takes the compressed natural gas for renewable natural gas, and the natural gas goes into a generator, which is consistently charging a smaller battery pack than with two electric axles with two e-motors that are using regenerative braking in the e-motors to drive the truck. So it's a full electric propulsion technology, essentially eliminating the need for extensive charging infrastructure, we're already seeing growing and developed infrastructure for CNG and RNG. So as we took a look at that, and of course, we are in efracks and logistics, we're in oil and gas. We've seen a consistent trend moving over to efracks, which is essentially it's these very large electric frac motors, but they're powered by a very big turbine. And guess what powers a turbine is natural gas in just about every case.
Okay.
So we looked at that technology, and we're seeing the need for it. We're seeing the consistent push towards ESG and oil and gas, especially our exploration and production customers. So as we looked at that technology and with what Hyliion was creating with the Hypertruck ERX, it really made sense to us that is really the future of a Class 8 tractor electrification. So we met with Hyliion and got really familiar with them, and we've slowly adopted the Hybrid EX packages to our diesels as we learn the aspects of electrification. And then we added CNG tractors to our fleet as we learned the CNG aspect of it to kind of start putting all those pieces together. And really, they've been a phenomenal partner. Really, the relationship between us is essentially a win-win. It's with them doing good, it does us good, and us doing good, it does them good. So it's really all a win-win, and it's been a great partnership from the beginning.
Nice. That's so exciting to hear. Well, it makes a lot of sense that the technology is one that's developed. It's one that's available, one that you identified that meets your need. Sounds like the existing infrastructure where a lot of your operations are at made a lot of sense too with the natural gas and integrating some of the technology based upon that. And sounds like just an amazing partnership. So excited to learn a little bit more about that. Through your integration, through your demonstration of these technologies within Detmar Logistics trucking fleet, you've received a lot of recognition, and I want to give you a little bit of credit for that. You were just recently awarded here 2021 Top Green Fleet, an amazing accomplishment. I know also that Inc. 5000's Boss Magazine featured a great feature on you and your organization for demonstrating these amazing cutting edge technologies within trucking. And so definitely want to give you a lot of credit there. Would love to learn a little bit more. As I shared with you, there's a lot of trucking companies that are talking about it, that are planning for it, but you're simply doing it. And so touched on it a little bit, but would love to learn a little bit more why integrating and moving into the EV, the hybrid fleets was important to you and your organization.
Yeah, thanks, Grant.
Yeah.
The world is adapting to lowering greenhouse gas emissions, whether anybody likes it or not. That's the way the world's going, and it's a better approach for the future of our planet. For our children, our children's children. So,
yeah.
And the availability of technology, we haven't really seen it available until as a recent, at least developing on a meaningful level. So we said, hey, you know what? Let's take the plunge. Let's be a first adopter. Let's learn this, and let's learn the ins and outs. And that way we can have a competitive advantage against our competition by really understanding electrification and alternative fuels as we push towards that direction. So it's been very important to us. And as I mentioned, it's been very important to our customers. It's helped us secure some long-term contracts. That's helping us grow our business and develop our partnerships with our customers as well.
Yeah. Yeah, very good, very good. Well, it is. It's something that makes sense. It's something that I think is based on the infrastructure that you operate within. This is an exciting, company that you have the partnership with that has the technology that's available. You've integrated it, and makes a lot of sense there. But at the same time, to be doing good for the world in general and for future generations, I think is something that deserves, recognition. And again, just applaud you for doing that, especially within trucking. And so just really incredible what you've accomplished so far.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the story of your organization, and I know we've talked a few times, and you've been kind enough to share that with me. If you don't mind, for the benefit of audience members, would you share a little bit of the story of your company and kind of some of the history to where building up to where you are today?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been quite a bit of a roller coaster. First off, we're in transportation, trucking, which is cyclical in its own right, and then oil and gas, which is very cyclical, always has been. So the company started we formed our LLC in 2012. And how it got started is I was working with my dad, and we were looking at something doing, and he had some experience in the transportation trucking business in the early 90s. And we're looking at kind of a project to start. And at the time, 2012, oil's blowing and going. We're at $100 a barrel. And plus, it was essentially in the very early innings of fracking. So there was a lot of unknowns, a lot of inefficiencies, which a lot of those inefficiencies made pricing on a lot of the trucking aspects of it very high and very lucrative. So we looked into a few deals. Some worked, some didn't. Kind of the first few deals we looked at just didn't. The trucks we looked at weren't maintained very well. And the companies we were looking on, because we were essentially starting as an owner operator, we didn't mesh with some of the companies. However, we did find some decently used trucks at a very good price with trailers. So it was 3 units, 3 trucks, 3 Freightliners with pneumatic trailers. Okay. And we had a good company to lease on with. And so we got rolling. And again, things were going well. This is a very hot spot in the oil and gas market during this time. And everything was going good. And then our bankers said, hey, we'll do 2 more trucks and trailers. So we financed 2 more trucks and trailers, got the fleet to 5 total units. Then our banker moved to a different bank that specialized in SBA loans. And then so he comes to me and says, hey, Matt, let's refinance your first 5 trucks and trailers. Let's do 5 more. So we'll give you 10 total units, and we're going to refinance this under SBA loan. And it's going to buy your dad's portion. It's going to give you 100% equity because, of course, my dad helped us get started. I was a lot younger, didn't have the credit to do it. I definitely had an advantage there. But so the banker said, hey, we're going to refinance the first 10 on an SBA loan on a 10-year note, which is terrible for equipment because if you're in the trucking business, you know that equipment depreciates a lot quicker than 10 years. So you're upside down for the majority of the note.
Sure.
But I was like, let's take the risk. Let's hop into it and see what we can do. So things were going really well in 2014. Things were rocking and rolling. And we had, the 10 trucks, and then we had a small group of owner operators. And then tail end 2014, oil crashes, falls pretty quickly right around Thanksgiving time. And that kind of left us with nothing to do. So we started hauling freight. We parked our pneumatic trailers, picked up some dry vans. We're working on a furniture contract from Mississippi down to Texas. Paid well coming to Texas, not so much going back.
Okay.
So, it helped the business stay afloat, but it came to a point where it was, hey, we're going to have to figure out how to get back. Yeah. Doing sand, otherwise we're going to have to scrap this, sell the trucks, have to fold the company up. So went out to all the sand mines in Texas, and last one I went to, I turned down every single one of them. The last one I went to was owned by a large exploration and production company. Just happened to know a name there. Went in there. Says, hey, my boss is here. We're looking at adding some trucking capacity. So went back, talked to him, answered the questions best I could. And they gave us some movements from rail down to storage, just doing some intermediary sand movements. Yeah. And then about that time, that exploration production company also had their own fracking company, and they said, hey, let's get you on MSA. Let's get you in here. And this is kind of right at the beginning of 2016. So we were able to get this MSA when oil was at $26 a barrel. We were really excited about that at the time. So we got in and things started working well. They pulled back on their frac fleets and kind of left us with something to figure out again. And we started getting the sand business, started building back up with more customers, and we were able to get back working with that exploration production company. And then between 2016 and 2018, from that specific customer I was just mentioning, we went from our smallest carrier to our largest carrier. And we also grew our fleet from around 20 trucks, 10 company with a few owner operators to 330 trucks between the 2016 to the 2018 timeframe. And
incredible.
So we saw the big push, which most trucking companies did in 2018, and we're able to solidify our customer base, keep a good consistency. 2019 was a hard year on transportation, as most people know. It had the most trucking bankruptcies on record, and then things were looking up in 2020, and everybody knows what happened in 2020, especially with us being in the oil and gas market. Things really tightened up for us. Mm-hmm. However, and we did see opportunities. We had a full uniform fleet, and we had a customer who needed to provide a uniform fleet to their customer, and everything kind of meshed to help us keep a good workload. So we helped each other out very much during that time, and that was another scary time for us as well. We definitely struggled, as most businesses did. Saw a lot of our competition fold, but we did make it out, skin of our teeth, and then we're on the other side. And coming out of it is right when we started our relationship with Hyliion, essentially, and that's pushed us into different avenues we never thought would be possible for us. And so things are on the up and up. We've been through a lot of ups and downs, but we are solidifying our customer base to keep us around for long term, so we can continue to provide our customers good alternative fuel and electrification solutions on the Class 8 trucking side of things.
Yeah,
that's kind of our story in a nutshell.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing that. I think it's just a fascinating story and so inspiring, and the fact that you were able to emerge, from some of those cycles and kind of the roller coaster ride that trucking can often be, and emerge from all of that even stronger, more nimble, and to emerge now into a position where leading, the industry through the integration of your EV and hybrid technologies is an amazing place to be in. And so I think the fact that you not only survived but really thrived, through that, to be in the position that you are today, I think really says a lot about you and your organization, and be able to navigate, those types of conditions. So I really do appreciate you sharing that with us. And that kind of brings us to where you are today. And as you share the partnership and the demonstration of these new exciting technologies, so would you tell us a little bit about what you're excited about today, what you're excited about, say, looking to the remainder of the year, the next couple of years, what's next for the company?
Absolutely. What we're excited about is continuing to develop our knowledge in electrification and natural gas alternative fuels. What's next? We do have a pre-order of the Hypertruck ERX, so we're really excited about that. That's what we're really focused on with our initial steps with the Hybrid EX and the CNG with the hybrid system on Hyliion.
Yeah.
So that is what we're really excited about. What is on the horizon, though, is we are looking at a sizable natural gas truck order as well. Mm-hmm. And then we're also looking at adding a different fueling capacity that's going to help us better serve our customers, both environmentally and economically.
Yeah.
So that's essentially all I can speak of necessarily onto that topic without going into too much detail. But
sure.
Again, we're adding some infrastructure for the fueling that I think is going to benefit our customers very well. Plus continuing to move to alternative fuels and electrification and cycle out of diesel.
Yep. Love it. Very good. All very exciting. More trucks, more technologies, more infrastructure, for these new technologies. That's awesome. What has been, and it sounds like it's been very positive, but, would love for you to share a little bit, of the drivers, perspective and opinion of some of the newer trucks and newer technologies. It sounds like they're enjoying, some of the new technologies and new trucks that are becoming available and that you're integrating into your fleet. What's the overall impression of the new trucks, new technology?
Yeah, no, the drivers are very excited about it. And the more we explain to them and lay out the vision, the more excited they get about it.
Nice.
They really like the additional power they get from the Hybrid EX package. So all of that has been very positive, and they see the changes it's brought to our company. They see the consistency in the work it's brought to them as well, which has been a big advantage for us because drivers are high in demand right now and short in supply.
Yeah.
So that's been very important to us. Needless to say, with these new ventures we're going out towards, it's not all easy. There is challenges. Mm-hmm. Moving from diesel to CNG, we've seen as some of our greatest challenges right now. Mm-hmm. But again, it's something we're learning, understanding, and overcoming. And we do have some drivers that have been champions of the CNG technology, understanding it, and coaching our other drivers on it to understand. Because diesel for CNG tractors, there's a decent difference, and it's not just going from one truck to another and expecting the same thing. The truck does perform differently. So that's been our greatest challenge, but educating the drivers about CNG, why CNG is good for us, why CNG is good for the environment, for the communities versus diesel. So that's been a big challenge, but it's something that we're learning so we can overcome.
Yeah, very good.
Every challenge has its opportunities to overcome, we think. So we do believe that this is the way to go, and we're seeing more and more people get on board every day.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So nice to hear. I know that as a result of today's podcast, which will be featured to Spotify, Apple Podcast. I know your company's social media platforms, websites, and all that good stuff. And in addition to that, will be posted at marketscale.com, today's leading business-to-business video and media platform. I know a lot of organizations spend quite a bit of time on the website looking for new partnerships, new opportunities to do business. And I know that there's going to be a very positive reaction to today's podcast and to your company and learning about some of the new technologies that you're integrating that I think is going to result in a lot of companies reaching out and wanting to do business with you. What's the best way that companies can reach you or reach the company and inquire about maybe working together?
Absolutely. Go to our website, detmarlogistics.com. Give us a call. It's the easiest way. We do have presence on LinkedIn and Facebook. We will be rolling out Instagram and TikTok, I believe, in the next 2 months, as well as updating our website. So we're going to be pushing for a much more significant web presence, not only just through our website, but through various social media platforms as well. Best way today, go to our website, contact us, give us a call, contact us through the website. But that's the best way to get a hold of us today.
Perfect. Absolutely. I know you mentioned, Hyliion, the partnership. I'd love to learn a little bit more about that today. Had suggested maybe audience members, check them out as well. You mind sharing with us where they can learn a little bit more about Hyliion as well?
Yeah, I go to Hyliion's website. I believe it's hyliion.com. I don't quite know, but Google them, learn about them. I believe that, especially those that understand the Class 8 truck market, can really see that what they're developing is a solution for today. And they're also with the Hypertruck ERX. They're also looking at making it essentially fuel agnostic to be able to adapt to hydrogen as hydrogen comes. Hydrogen is it's been the fuel of the future for the last 25 years is what they've said for a long time, and it's been it hasn't necessarily been developed as a lot of people had hoped or wished it would be, and we still think it's a way out. It's starting to the infrastructure for hydrogen is starting to develop, but it's still very expensive, which doesn't make it economically viable. Because as a lot of companies are pushing towards reducing their scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions, reducing their greenhouse gas emissions, they also want to make sure that it's cost competitive. So that's why we see hydrogen still delayed out, but it's definitely something that's coming, and it's again, Hyliion is being fuel agnostic towards that. But what we're seeing today, it's with the range that the Class 8 tractors have that are out right now that are pure BEV, pure battery electric driven. It's not what we need for the long haul industry, and we're more so technically a regional carrier, but the way our trucks run is more in a long haul format. Okay. So with what the Hypertruck ERX adds value is a significant range, around 1,000-mile range. And it does have the full 75-mile full electric range. So, as you're looking at, perfect example, we want to go into a zero emissions frac. When we're driving the truck, granted, it spits off very few emissions. It's the way it is right now compared to diesel. But we essentially can run onto the well site at zero emissions, unload a load of sand, come out, and then, generator kicks back on. So the Hypertruck ERX is what we truly believe is the future of the Class 8 truck market in today, because charging infrastructure, battery technology, battery chemistry for the long haul, that just it doesn't seem as reasonable today compared to what the Hypertruck ERX offers. So I recommend definitely going to Hyliion's website, understanding the technology they're bringing out, because we definitely see it as a game changer.
Absolutely. Well, it is. You're very much demonstrating that. So appreciate that so much. And just want to thank you again for your time today, Matt. It's always a pleasure to get to speak with you and to really learn what's at the cutting edge of trucking and EV and electric and integration. And again, just applaud you and your company so much for doing it, which I think is such an accomplishment, especially within the trucking industry. So really appreciate your time today and sharing that story with us. And just want to wish you and your company continued success within the industry and as you continue to grow. And we all very much appreciate your time here today, and so inspiring to hear that we are making strides towards that net negative carbon emissions within the trucking industry. And, those strides, with you and companies like Hyliion, really leading, those efforts. So again, applaud you on those efforts. Thank you so much for your time today, and wish you and the company continued success.
Absolutely, and thank you for kind words, Grant, and thank you for having me today. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Take care.